Hi, and welcome to this video. My name is Alina Kuteva, and I am Marketing Manager for Smart Mobility and Automotive Event Portfolio at we.CONECT. And today I'm having an interview with Kevin Mak, Principal Automotive Electronics Industry Analyst at TechInsights. Kevin will be speaking at our upcoming event, the Automotive ePowertrain Tech Summit, that is taking place in Berlin on March 22nd to 24th. Hi, Kevin. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Alina.
Could you please tell us a bit about your role at TechInsights? What fascinates you the most about your work?
Sure, yes. I'm the principal analyst there at TechInsights there, which is the company that has acquired the previous entity, Strategy Analytics. And I've been at Strategy Analytics there for, say, coming up to 15 years now, analyzing the automotive electronics market there, in particular things such as electrified powertrain, but also other areas such as ADAS and smart entry systems. And what fascinates me about my work is to look at the new technologies that are coming into the automotive market there, and how a number of factors that are driving that market there, say, whether it's the goal to reduce fatalities there, which has been boosting the ADAS market there. But with the threat of climate change coming presently there with extreme weather events, there's focused the minds of legislators there to require a reduction of carbon dioxide emissions there, and that includes the automotive sector.
I see. All right. And you'll be presenting a case study on the advances in e-motor development. So could you please summarize just in a few words what the audience can expect to learn from your presentation?
Well, I'm looking at, say, a presentation of what's happened in electric motor development over the past several years there, and it's more like a general presentation of seeing what the trends are, and we're looking at, say, reducing cost, and we're looking at, say, are there alternative strategies from using rare earth materials, sorry, and we're looking at, say, how the motor designs are in, say, improving the magnetic flux if you are using the permanent magnets with rare earths, or whether you be going down a completely different route there, say the likes of BMW using brushed motors, or induction motors being used by Audi. So we're looking at, say, making the electrified powertrain more affordable, but they're also raising the efficiency there. So we're looking at, say, improved thermal management, trying to bring cooling right to the core of the motor there, and enabling those motors to spin even faster, and being able to improve the performance of those electric motors there. But then we're now seeing a number of new technology concepts that are being proposed by startups there, and promising one is axial flux there, which have been taken on by the likes of Mercedes and Renault. And we're also looking at the supply relationship there between the tier ones, who have brought about the scale of electromotive production, but also OEMs want to ensure that they keep that intellectual property within themselves there, and the fear of losing that technology there to their rivals there. So there are a number of aspects there in the presentation that I'll be speaking about.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Looks like a great overview. And so from what you've observed, what are the biggest challenges in the transition to full electric mobility?
So I mentioned cost as a threat there because um, particularly from the area of battery cost there, that's one of the key detractors of electric mobility, and range anxiety is a term that's often been used there for consumers who are concerned that they're not getting sufficient range from an electric vehicle, and we're seeing that sort of consumer concern moving towards charge anxiety now. So the battery technologies have improved, energy density has increased, but then the time to recharge an electric vehicle has increased there because of the larger battery capacity, but also the availability of where to charge if you want to go on a long distance there. So it's easy enough to say recharge at home for short journeys there. But then what happens if you don't have a house? You don't live in a house, or you live in an apartment, and you don't have access to that charging facility at your home. So you need to have the availability of public charging access, and then the charging experience that our user experience practice has found out has been lacking there, because there's a multitude of charging networks. Um, the the hassle of downloading different smartphone apps for different charging networks, then being able to pay through the charging there, trying to locate where the chargers are, and when you go to the charging station there, is the charger in working order? Many of them are have been damaged there or haven't been maintained. So you do have that charge anxiety there, and I think um, whilst you question the technology challenges there, I do believe that they are being overcome there. They certainly surely will be overcome there, but a lot of the problems are related to user experience there and trying to inform the consumer there. So there seems to be a number of factors that play there that are holding back electrification.
I see. I see. It's a very complex and also infrastructural problem, I believe.
Sure.
It's not just people coming up with great solutions, but it's a whole way of how we live, I guess, has to
Mm.
change to accommodate for more electric vehicles on our roads.
Sure.
I see. So another question would be, in one of your reports for Strategy Analytics, you talked about how China is a decade ahead of the Western countries in terms of electric vehicle manufacturing and technology. So if we look at Europe, how do you think the industry is catching up here?
Well, China has been given that head start there because there seems to be a strong government support there for electrification there, primarily there to combat air pollution in their cities there. And so the government proposed its automotive sector there to make serious investments there in electrification there, and perhaps it would give its automotive sector like a technology a head start or a leapfrog against rivals there from Europe and America, to because the Chinese automotive sector has been say a latecomer there towards combustion engine technology there. So if by going to battery electric earlier, it will give it some sort of a head start there. But the way I see it, Europe is catching up there in terms of investment and pushing that technology towards electrification. And much of that is the mandates there that have been proposed by legislators there to combat climate change and to limit air pollution as well, but primarily to combat climate change. And several countries here in Europe are looking to ban the sale of combustion engine powered vehicles there in the 2030s or 40s timeframe. And that has forced European OEMs to look into restructure their businesses and go, say, all electric going forward there. So there is that that catch up there, and also it's not just catching up with Chinese OEMs there, but also Tesla there, because what Elon Musk has done is to turn the automotive sector on its head there, not just on electrification there, where it leads much of the technology as well, but also looking at the way software can be a key enabler for an OEM to say update the vehicles there during its lifetime, for example, and to bring about, say, new features there through software rather than going through the traditional hardware route there, where say new features have to be implemented only through by adding like an ECU, adding new sensors, that kind of thing there. But if they have the processing hardware and the sensors already installed there, if you can bring about the feature there through a software update, that seems to be a strong plus factor there for consumers there buying cars in the future.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So that brings me actually to my next question. So what do you think should be what do you think should happen with electric motor and e-power technologies to bring the industry forward to the next step? What are your forecasts or perhaps investments are?
The trend is showing more of an evolution than a revolution there, because the vast majority of electric motors that have been deployed in electric vehicles at present are the traditional permanent magnet synchronous motor. And as I said a few questions back there, then it's trying to get the costs down, perhaps trying to limit the use of rare earths, or raising the efficiency by enhancing thermal management, or say raising the power density there through, say, more denser stator wiring and like that. But then some concepts are showing some potential there. Now, I did mention axial flux there being adopted by some OEMs there for performance applications there. We're seeing things such as the air core motor concept there from Infinitum, who put the wiring into like a PCB there, so just for ease of manufacture there, for example. If I look at my notes there and say other sort of ideas that are out there, you look at switch reluctance there that has been touted there. You're looking at say, putting magnets in the spokes there of the motor there from equip make, and then you're looking at those in-wheel motors there from the likes of Laffy there, where you see new concepts in electric vehicle design there, where you have corner modules there, and when you add, say, steer by wire, brake by wire capability to this corner module, and then that in-wheel motor there, you just free up so much space there in the vehicle there for extra cargo or cabin space, and that would certainly support, say, autonomous vehicles going forward in the future there, where you don't need steering wheel, you don't even need a driver. Whilst there are challenges there in wheel motors there, you see improvements there and reducing the weight there. So there are so many like new concepts there, although time will tell what concepts are going to be adopted by the OEMs. So it's a very interesting time there in observing the electrification.
Great. Sure. And I'm sure we will see lots of different approaches and ideas on our agenda during the event. So it's the first time, I believe, that you're speaking at our
It
events
is, yes.
with we.CONECT. So what are your expectations of the conference?
My expectations of the conference is to know further insights into future motor technology there, and see. I mean, I mentioned the different technology concepts and electric motors there. It'll be interesting to see what gets adopted by the OEMs there, and I'm also interested in the level of integration there with, say, the drivetrain and motor inverter, or even if you looking at a number of OEMs there, the likes of Renault are looking to integrate a whole load of different components onto the electric motor there in order to, say, reduce costs and bring about further integration and say ease of implementing electrification into the model lineup, where you have a single electrification module just to be slung into the electric vehicle. So, I mean, it's interesting to know what's going to happen there and how it's going to happen. So, I'm certainly looking forward to the event now.
Fantastic. And we're looking forward to welcoming you there and also meeting in person for sure in Berlin.
Sure, yes.
So yes, thank you so much for your time. Again, Kevin Mak, Principal Automotive Electronics Industry Analyst at TechInsights. He'll be joining us for the ePowertrain Tech Summit on March 22nd to 24th in Berlin. And we're looking forward to you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.